Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So I'm a mood reader, I'm gonna be honest, and I really shouldn't make TBRs, but this is going to be my recent reads, and I didn't read anything spooky in the month of October at all. I don't know, I had a weird month, but we're gonna go through what I read, and you're gonna see that some of it's kind of not my usual genre of reading. So let's get into it. I read, let's see, 1 fantasy, 2 historical mysteries, and then I read 4 romances, which we will get into later because I don't normally read romance. The fantasy I read was Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson, and I'm going to tell you right now, I really enjoyed it. The synopsis of that book is that Tress lives on an island that has the Emerald Sea, but the Emerald Sea is not water, it's spores. So when these spores get water, they explode, they grow vines. It's a very dangerous place. So nobody is allowed off the island. Only the Lord and anybody connected to the king is allowed off the island. Tress falls in love with the Lord's son, and the Lord doesn't like it, so he takes his son off the island to find him a wife. And things happen from there. He is held prisoner, her love, by a sorceress. So Tress decides that she's going to go save him. So her and her family and some townspeople help her get off the island. This book has adventure. It has pirates, it has found family, it has growth of a character. It's just really a lovely book, and I really enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure now that I will read more Brandon Sanderson, and I like to do the rest of the, secret projects that he has out. And I know he has epic fantasies and stuff like that, which that is something I will try, but I really enjoyed it. So that is book 1. Book, well, I'm going to go with historical mysteries next. I read 2. I'll do the first one, which was Death Around the Bend. That is a Lady Hardcastle mystery, and it is by, I don't remember, T.E Kinsey. And I love those. It's a Lady Hardcastle mystery, what can I say? I really enjoy Lady Hardcastle. This one here is Lady Hardcastle and Flo are invited to a manor house to go racing. So motor racing for a week. And Flo is really excited because she thinks that they can get out of the town where there's a whole bunch of murderers. And she's like, okay, this is going to be nice. We're going to relax. That doesn't really happen. The first race they have, there is a terrible accident, they think. And a car rears off and hits a tree, and the occupant dies. The police have come in and they have said, nope, it's just an accident. There's nothing more to it. Lady Hardcastle's like, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. So she goes ahead and she starts investigating. Well, you know where things go from there. So I won't tell you any more than that because there's some twists and turns in this one. And it was really nice to see them outside of the little town and with new people, and Flo going downstairs and, you know, figuring out what was going on with, you know, the servants and stuff like that. And Lady Hardcastle's upstairs and she's interacting with different people. It was really a really different place for them to be, and I really enjoyed it because I think it was different. So I really enjoyed that one. I would give that one a go. Lady Hardcastle's always go. The next mystery that I read was Murder at the Serpentine Bridge. This one is by Andrea Penrose, and it is part of the Wexford and Sloane mysteries. And of course, again, it's another one that I really enjoy because I have a habit of just reading books that I really enjoy. And I really wanted to finish the series. So this is like the last book. The second last book. I'm reading the actual last book right now until she has more that come out. But yes, this one's a bit different. It's grittier than the last couple I've read. So there's a bit of I think there's more action in it. There's a couple other things that are in it. I don't want to tell you too much, but this one centers around an engineer who is killed because he is inventing a revolving pistol. And in that era, that would have been a good, well, not good, but it would have been an invention to help with more, wars and stuff like that, but it does discuss stuff like that. It also has some espionage in it. It has more found family, because there's actually a little boy that's involved that you get to see. And the bond that he makes with the other two little boys, which is really, really nice. And I love that, because I love the found family in that book. They're quirky. Everybody just bands together and they all help each other, and just love that book. I love the series. If you're going to read a series, read that series. Like, just read that series. It's a really, really good series. And, okay. Those are those ones. Now we'll get into romances. There's a reason I don't read a lot of romances. Romance is kind of, I like them in the beginning, and then I get bored. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Spice, too much spice, is boring. Okay? It's just boring. It's just, it's boring. Baby reads romance. Just give me a hint on a good one. Because right now, I've got a couple in here that I liked, but there's nothing that's fabulous. And I get really bored if there's too much spice. And if there's not enough chemistry between the people. Also, why is it that there's no tender moments in any of these books? Like, really? There's it's just spice. And it's like, okay, that's it. I'm finished with my rant here. Anyways, the first book I read in the romance section was Done and Dusted. This book is not for me. It is not for me. I will go over its good points, because that's just what you do. It had ADHD representation, and it had post-traumatic stress disorder, which panic attacks and stuff like that. Those I like. I will explain the plot, I guess. There's not really much of a plot, but the plot. And this girl named Clementine, but everybody calls her Emmy. She comes home after having a horrible accident on her horse. She is a barrel rider. So she's up there, top barrel riders. She comes home. She has this terrible accident, but her family doesn't know why she's home, because she comes back home to a ranch. Oh, it's a cowboy romance, sorry. She comes back home to the ranch. They don't know why she's home. And the first night she's home, she goes to a bar, and the bar is owned by her brother's best friend. So, trope best friend's brother thing. And she doesn't know this, and they're terrible enemies. They're just enemies. She hates him, and he hates her, and so where it goes from there. They blossom. There was some nice parts in it, really. There was some nice parts in it. Like, he helped her with her panic attacks, and he helped her get back on a horse, which was really sweet. But the spice in this book, guys, it wasn't well written. There were two words that were used that were overused over and over and over again, and I was just like, no. Just no. And it went on for pages. I skimmed half of it. And every time she came to something, it's like the author didn't know what to do. and she didn't know how to progress the story, so she would just put a scene in it. And I was like, so in reality, no, this book wasn't for me. I didn't enjoy it that much, but I understand why people would. So it might be for anybody else, but it was not for me. The next book I read, which I actually have here, is The Long Game. It's by Elena Armas? Let's make sure. You guys can see that, Elena Armas? Okay, this book I liked. It was more of a slow burn. It also has cats and goats, and I love cats and goats. It was the first book I've ever read from her. Let's see, how can I explain this? You have Adeline and Cam. Okay, so Adeline works for her father, who owns a soccer club, the Miami Soccer Club. And unfortunately, she has an incident with the mascot, and she rips off his head, and it's a big scandal, and it's all over the internet. And her father says, you know what, because of this, I have to send you away. So he sends her away to North Carolina. For sure it's North Carolina, if I remember correctly. Yeah, North Carolina. And he says, there's a soccer team there that you need to make great. So you're gonna, be their manager, and you're gonna make them great. So she goes to North Carolina to do this. She only finds out that the team she's, trying to make great is 6 and 9-year-old girls. Little girls. Now, I'm gonna be honest, these little girls, they're so cute. They made this book. They were so cute. And yeah, and then she meets the coach, which she recognizes that is a famous soccer player. He was a goalie. I guess I'm a goalie. He was a famous soccer player, and he's trying to hide out so people don't know who he is, because he's retired, he wants a nice life. So they have to work together. Now, people would call this Grumpy Sunshine, maybe. I don't know. I would call them Grumpy Grump. Both in the beginning of the book. They were both grumpy. There was no sunshine, both grumpy. They learn to work together for this team, for these girls, and it was lovely. Was there spy scenes? Yes. There could have been less? Yes. But that's okay. I enjoyed it because it actually had a plot. It had some found family. You figure out some other things that happen in the book, and I think it's the first of, she's gonna make another one. So yes, this one, really, really enjoyed. Next up, The Spanish Love Deception. And it is by the same author, Elena Armas. This one, I know people like it. It was okay. I found it was just too long. Like, why do romance novels need to be, almost 140 pages? Why? Like even this one was long, but this one's longer. And this is the first one. This is like an office romance. So enemies to lovers in the office. So this one has Catalina, everybody calls her Lena, and Aaron. And she has to go to her sister's wedding in Spain. Now, she unfortunately told her family that her New York boyfriend was coming with her. She doesn't have a New York boyfriend. So Aaron finds out, and he repeatedly asks her, can I go with you? I'll go with you. I'll be your boyfriend. I'll be your boyfriend. And she says, no, because she hates him. And they come to an agreement that she will help him be his fake date for something if he'll be her fake date. So that's how it starts. So you know what happens from then. They go and they fall in love. And this one was okay. I liked it. But was it the best book I've ever read? No. It was okay. I enjoyed it. I remember who the characters are. I remember the plot of the book, which is great. But I I've never found a romance novel that I've thoroughly enjoyed. It's either there's certain parts of it that I don't like. So I don't know, guys. It's not like a mystery. You know, like if you have mystery books, you can have like a little romance on the side and it's okay. But when you have a whole entire book that's based on a romance, I think sometimes I get bored. And I hate to say it because there are people out there who love romances. And I want to have romances that I can read once in a while just to break up things. Is a historical romance. This one is called A Rogue of One's Own. And it's by Evie Dunmore. Evie Dunmore, yeah. And it's part of the League of Extraordinary Women. This one, I didn't get into it in the first. I put it down for like 2 weeks. I had read more than half and I put it down. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to finish this. Once I got into it, I finished it. It was good. It was good. Could there have been less spicy scenes? Yes, but that's just my opinion. And this one is Lucy. Lucy runs the Oxford chapter of the suffragettes. So she had an idea to go ahead and buy a publishing company so they could put out more material for people to read, because it's really hard to get information out from the suffragettes in this time, because it takes place, this one is, when does it take place? I think it's the late 1800s. Does it say in the first part? Yes, 1865. Okay, so she gets her friends together and they all have other people and sponsors and stuff like that. And they purchase half of a publishing company. The other half of the publishing company is purchased by someone who she does not like. So again, enemies to lovers. This is a person that she has known him since they were children, and he teased her a lot, and she doesn't like him, and she finds him a rogue, and he's awful, and he's got his own backstory. This is Tristan. He's got his own backstory, and actually his backstory is, I once I started reading more about him, I enjoyed him more, but he's just, he loves his mother. He's trying to protect his mother. He's trying to protect her. But what happens is he makes an improper proposition to her that he will give her the rest of the publishing company if she does one thing for him. And it's a price. It's a big price. And you have to see whether, you know, she goes through with it. And then they have a, let's just say, torrid love affair. And it's wild. It's yeah, I enjoyed it. Would I say it's the best? No, there were things in it that I didn't enjoy, but I enjoyed this one. So those are my recent reads. I will say the next book in this, I won't give too much away, but let's just say I wanted to throw it against the wall. Yes. I just read that one, and we'll discuss that another time. But that is all I have read. What are your guys' recent reads? What have you read lately? Do you have any other recommendations for books? Like, leave them down in the comments. We can all lovely read some more books. And if you do happen to read romance and you have some good ones, just leave them down below, because I'm not finding, like, they're okay, but I think I'm just gonna go and stick more to my mysteries. But other than that, I hope you guys are having a fabulous day, and I will see you later. Bye.